Look, this is literally this moment. I'm telling you this. I have never seen such a moment, except the internet boom. Like this is
Mm,
as big as having internet. Being able to build product that fast is as important as there is internet where you can publish your ideas. This is as
right.
important as that. Because being able to build stuff fast, it's for me and for another 7 billion people around the world. So the explosion of ideas, explosion of concepts, and it's just gonna be explosive the next few years.
The worlds of AI and Web3 are often seen as separate forces. Yet, their convergence is creating one of the most powerful technological shifts of our time. Today, we're joined by someone who lives at that very intersection. A former quant trader, Ahmad Shadid saw the 2022 GPU crunch not as a crisis, but as an opportunity. He harnessed the power of crypto mining facilities to build a decentralized GPU network, a project that scaled with incredible speed. Now he leads O.XYZ, a company building a sovereign superintelligence, a fascinating framework for an AI CEO that governs and grows itself transparently. We'll explore how decentralized networks and zero-knowledge proofs are shaping the future of AI. We'll also dive into the concept of vibe coding, a new paradigm where developers build products with AI at 20 times the speed. But as we accelerate innovation, how do we solve the critical bottleneck of security in a world that moves faster than traditional audits ever could? Welcome to the Defiant Podcast. Hey everybody, I'm your host Vinny, and I'm joined today by Ahmad Shadid. Thank you for being here, Ahmad.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, so let's start with your very interesting journey into the intersection of Web3 and AI. I know this is something that a lot of people are innovating on and thinking about today, two really interesting technologies with a lot of interesting connections. Can you just give us a quick overview of your journey and what led you to this intersection of technology?
I guess my background was initially quant trading. I guess that's what I really loved for some good enough period of time, maybe 5, 6 years. And then from there, it evolved into the GPU compute issue that was happening in the world back in 2022 when ChatGPT launched, caused me to have very high cost on GPUs for my AI trading models. And at the same time, it was the Russian war and the crypto market was in bear market. So the expenses was already very high. And the market is not profitable. So I need to reduce my expenses. Ended up somehow in a year building a deepen infrastructure project that I was using the GPUs from crypto mining facilities instead of paying AWS. And then I came to me the idea, why not make this deepen network, GPU network with a coin and so on. So then ended up launching the IO coin. We raised 40 million all the way to $4 billion. And then I left IONET and started Audit.xyz, this new company we're working on today. And the reason why I'm still exist in this Web3 world and also intersection of AI and Web3, because I think both are what is going to drive the technology, what's going to drive our life 10 years from now is definitely Web3 AI. Like this is the biggest two things. So if somehow there's an intersection of both, like when it really became viable at the time when deepens and GPU networks and decentralized AI models and zero knowledge proof verification of machine learning model inference, like when this stuff trended, so now there was like hope in both the Web3 world and the AI world, which both are really huge trends. So that's why I would love to remain here and build technologies around this.
Yeah, that's such a great story when you think about how like blockchain technology can help empower, AI builders, and AI can also help out in the crypto world. So it's really interesting to see these things that seem so different to really come together in a natural way. Let's talk a little bit more about O.XYZ. It's building the first sovereign superintelligence, which is really exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means and how it aligns with your broader vision for decentralized technology?
I think when we say sovereign superintelligence, we're not trying to build AGI. I guess we're just trying to build a sovereign means an entity that governs itself and that spends money, that has money to pay for its own growth and its own benefit, and that no one can stop. That's a sovereign in our perspective. And we in another way, we are making an AI CEO. So this company, Audit XYZ, is managed by an AI CEO. And that AI CEO is managing rewards for the team members, monitoring the health through the Whoop watches, monitoring the team performance, skills, coding tasks, and it's kind of like managing everything. So that's why it's like sovereign intelligence, but also super because it's now being empowered with a lot of tools and features that is just super. And I like it. So I guess that's really behind what we're trying to do here. So from building an AI CEO, we started to see like what is actually the most crucial product that the industry needs, or where is this inflection point that's happening right now in the industry that is it's worth to look into, it's worth to solve problems for. It's really important to focus into more than any other noise that's happening in the world. This is one, in my opinion, and the opinion of our AI CEO, one of the most important things to focus on. So that's why we decided to focus more into the dev tooling powered by AI, like how we see humans operating AI models and AI agents and so on into building products, building companies, building startups, building smart contracts, building trading applications, whatever. So that empowerment of making the engineer or the builder who have an idea to build 20 times faster, 20 times more efficient, 20 times better, 20 times more innovative, that's the tools needed for that is what I want to build and what we are building. Because then from there, even us, as we can use this tool to build whatever could come to our mind or whatever we need to build in the right time. It depends on the trend, depends on the demand, depends on the business models that are available or the concepts available in the world. So if we have a tool that actually can help us really 20x our engineering speed, 20x our efficiency, 20x our innovation, then definitely whatever coming next, we're ready for it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the time when we envision AI, we're thinking about how it's going to take over, writing, design, coding, a lot of these kind of entry to mid-level positions. I mean, are you seeing any kind of challenges or promising trends when it comes to AI in leadership positions?
AI in leadership positions, I guess it's tricky because most of leaders actually do nothing, if we really call leaders. Most of managers, let's not say leaders, because the true leaders are leaders, right? You can't replace that, neither with an AI, neither with anything. A leader is a leader. What claim to be leader or in leadership position, not them as leader, but they're supposed to be a leader, or all these managers, there's a lot of I don't know, some layers that we don't even need. Like it doesn't have to jump 3 layers between I don't know, project manager, product owner, project manager, product manager, until it gets to the engineer. You know why it's not goes directly from the owner of the product to the engineer? Why do you have 3 layers below that? So I think this type of is it really necessary to have this person in the team if this can be automated? Is he really doing something valuable? So I think leadership is unreplaceable for sure. It's a human nature. It's something that drives people forward, that inspires people, that cares for people, and so on. So an AI can help a leader and can be a co-leader maybe, but cannot replace a leader yet at this point. Now, how the future holds for us, we have no clue. But I think that's one thing. As of changing of positions or jobs, I think that what I'm noticing is the biggest issue is those who are not accepting to adopt the AI are the most who are being impacted. And those who are actually adopting the AI and using this as a tool and a companion to help them and to become better people or to do their job better are actually earning much more money than they used to earn before the AI trend. And those who are fighting against it and they still want to do it their own way, their own style, their own whatever, they are the one actually most of the people losing because they think they know better than AI, or they think the AI is not mature enough, or these are the ones who actually are really being hurt by AI. So I think it's more about adapt it, don't fight it better, and it gives an edge if you adapt it, because more people are not adapting it than people who are actually adapting it at work, specifically at building products. So if you're from the people who adapt it and do it well in excellency, then definitely you're going to even earn more money.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point because a lot of people kind of look at the, shall we call it the replacement trend of AI taking jobs away from people, but it's like you still need someone who knows how to prompt, knows how to research. And I've even done a lot of reading into how, from a content perspective, we're moving away from SEO and more into how we're going to interact with AI as a search tool. And I find it really fascinating because it's just the next generation of how we discover information, or how we brainstorm or whatever it is. And this is a great segue into our next topic. You have spoken a lot about vibe coding. Can you explain for our listeners what that is?
I guess there's almost no one who doesn't know what's vibe coding now. It's so trendy. There's a vibe coding bubble happening in the world. But I guess the concept of vibe coding is the concept of building products or building features or building some code, whether it's a video game or a mobile app or a web app, that you or that's how it started at least, that you don't even know what you're doing. Like you don't even know how it works in the background. You have no clue what is happening, why this file is being written and whatever. You just like talking to the AI and the AI is doing its work and you have no clue. You just look at it and it works. So that's how vibe coding started, because we reached to a point, which was 8 months ago, that truly you can build almost anything with AI. Like months ago, we reached that moment. Though the tools and kind of like, the features available or how you're going to interact with AI, it was available. It's just people didn't know how to actually speak to the AI, what's the right tactics and all that. But once, Bold.new, Lovable, and all these guys start to launch and Cursor and so on, this trend immediately emerged, because now I don't need a tech team to build me at least a demo to show to an investor or to show to a startup accelerator or to an incubator. I could go to them and like, okay, sure, what's your demo? Oh, yeah, I have a demo. Now I have 99% higher chance of being selected in the accelerator, because now I have a working demo. I don't only have to come and just speak my idea. And that itself like gives power back to the founder, to the creator of idea, or to even the engineer. That itself felt really good and unlocked possibilities. And that's why it went viral and it went trending. Now, then this is evolving, where vibe coding now means the art of building products, whether you understand or you don't understand. It doesn't matter. Like anyone vibe coding, I vibe code. I only vibe code. But do I understand what I'm doing? Most of the time, I guess. Because like 80% of the time, yes, I'm vibe coding Python. Python is my preferred programming language and I love it. I'm expert with it. Maybe 10 years. I love it. But I also do TypeScript, which is for like front ends and some back ends with Node.js and weird stuff, which is more interaction with Solana chain and this stuff. But I have no clue about this language. Like I don't do Node.js. I don't do TypeScript. I don't do JavaScript stuff. I only do Python for finance, machine learning stuff. All this like finance life is in Python. But then now I'm doing TypeScript and I'm doing it very well, better than the best engineers I have or I had in the company, in my team. Why? Not because I understand what I'm doing, because I understand what are the bottlenecks and how to solve them, because they're simple computer science issues. They're not, they're simple tooling, like how to use this tool and drag things around. And if this happens, you do that. It's just tools. Now, the language and how it's being written and what language it is, it doesn't really matter if you understand just like kind of basic computer stuff, like really. So then I even got into Rust, and Rust is like, the Solana chain core programming language. And I don't understand anything in Rust. It's so complicated, and I only know Python again. But yet I built features in Z code editor. It's one of the most famous code editors that the team there was been asked for like since maybe February to build these features. And I only built it in 10 minutes. Like seriously, there was one feature that which is like rendering this like system architecture diagrams that shows how the code base is built. And Rust is not really good with images and front end stuff. It's more back end. So generating such images and rendering it's such a tricky piece. I tried to solve it, and I tried for 2 days until the ChatGPT 5 model released. That was like a month ago, I guess. And then when the ChatGPT 5 model was released, I used it. It worked from the first prompt. In 10 minutes, I got that feature shipped. I was like, wow, like we're really getting too advanced. AI is really getting to a place where it is actually almost not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I guess me as a person also, we're like, this is really changing everything. This point that happened 8 months ago, now it's getting even more intense, that we don't need anymore to write code with our hand. We have gotten there. We are there. Like really the tools, the AI, the models, we are in that future where you don't need a human to write the code. We are there. We are really there. It's just the problem is the humans still don't know how to do that, how to get their AI models to get there. That's it. But the models themselves are already capable. of building almost anything I could think of, software wise, anything, like whatever you can think of in any of the programming languages that are, new and recent. It's there. You can do almost anything. Now, you just need someone to operate it, to think with it, to direct it. But we already got that. That you really don't need to write a single line of code. But then if you ask your question, okay, so if we're actually there, what are the possibilities? Well, unlimited, right? It's just the only problem is now the humans and the tools that are available that are on top of the ML models. And these tools are built for the era of before, where AI is capable of doing everything. It's built for the era where the human is doing everything. So like the Visual Studio Code editor is built for a human to read the file line by line. But now we are in an era where the AI can write 1,000 files in 1 minute. 1,000 files, every file is like 400 lines of code or 700 lines of code in 1 minute. And it's getting faster and faster because we have new chips and Cerebras and Grok and more. It's really getting so fast that like, how are you gonna read 1,000 files? You can't. You spend 1 minute letting the AI do the work, and you will spend the whole day just reading it. So
Right.
why? Because the tools and where this 1,000 file you have to review are one by one. I have to review it one by one. It's not built there. It's not there. It's not for that new era. So as a company also, where we don't write code with our hand, we are facing these problems that, gaps in the market that there's no solution for. It was not built for this. So we have to build it, and then build this feature, build that feature, and build this feature. That's why we ended up building a vibe coding or like an AI operating, like how you can build product with AI, because we actually found out we are gathering so much experience and building so many small solutions that if we actually bring them together, we could really actually revolutionize the whole industry. Because we as a company decided not to write a single line of code, yet the engineers in the company are the best people who can write this single line of code if they have to. Okay, so just
Yes. A couple of things that the Web3 world has been a bit slow to tackle has been, the UI UX issue, wallet friction, fragmented, tools to get cross-chain and all of that. Do you see vibe coding as something that could help address these issues in a way that's more meaningful than, the attempts that we've seen over the last 10, almost 20 years?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I mean, look, once the builders in the crypto market are adapting, fully building pieces of the products or like such solutions with AI, the speed of how fast we're going to release new products, new features into the Web3 world is going to be 20x. You're going to see 20 times more products. You're going to see 20 times faster improvements in chains, in solutions, in wallets, in payments, and everything. Because that, like, how to tell you, if Solana team, for example, the guys working on the Solana chain, if all of them are not coding with their hand, like they're fully, or the whole team from A to Z are just optimized to write code with AI, like the improvements that the Solana chain will have and the improvement that the ecosystem will have, it in like 3 months, it will equal 3 years in the past. I promise you. But the only issue is that it still need to be figured out, which is, again, it's not an issue, it's an opportunity, it's a gap in the market that someone have to fill. So it's an opportunity for someone. Security. AI codes fast, build more things, but crypto is not only building solutions, right? Not only building a product, it's you have to build a product, and as much effort you have invested in building the product, you need to invest in the security of the product and how to protect yourself from North Korea hackers or from whatever. It's just the crypto world is like two battles always. Not only building a product, you need to build it and secure it. And you're going to probably invest even more in securing it than what you invested in building it, which is true. So this is not going to change. Like, so the current vibe coding tools and products or features or whatever tools are coming, and there's some like really deep tools like Cursor and so on that really have like depth of features that are not just like for amateurs, it's for like professionals. Even if you are able to build these features, we need same much of like tools for securing these Web3 interactions, securing these Web3 agents, securing these new features, like quickly analyzing and finding bugs, using like having an AI that actually can do the security attacks and the tests and so on. And it can even generate for you the report that you need to pay 60K or 70K for one of these like auditing firms in the crypto market. So that is still a big issue, that is still dominated by few players, like, Surtech and all these similar guys. They are kind of dominating and monopolizing the whole cybersecurity market in the crypto market. They are the most expert, they and another like 5, 6 of them, and then they control everything. Whenever any company want to launch a new product, it goes through them. They charge 100K or 70K for simple stuff. And if you don't do that, you're probably going to get attacked by Chinese hackers and going to be ransomed. So you have no choice. So they're really monopolizing the market. There's a need because we're going to build, and by the way, it takes them like a month at least to come up with this security report. So in an era where you're going to build features 20 times faster, how are you going to wait a month for a security report? You need a solution that can actually unblock the innovation speed in the market. And the biggest hurdle in innovation is no matter what you've built, if it's not secured, you're going to kill your company, kill your reputation, kill everything. So what's the point? So yeah, build faster, but at the same time, build safe systems and safe code. And that piece, build safe systems, safe code, it doesn't exist. There's no one who solved or figured this out. It's a big problem. And by the way, it's a big problem for everyone, not only the crypto market, but I guess the crypto market is really suffering from it. And that piece, no matter how much evolved the Web3 world, this piece will remain like a big barrier that until someone figures this piece, the industry is not going to move as fast. And even if it tried to move as fast, it will break a lot of things.
No, that's really interesting. Like, you're bringing up that there is necessarily this bottleneck. Like, no matter how fast we can build it, there's still this next, verification layer to go to market before you screw over all of your consumers and, never start a business again because no one trusts you. So yeah, that's fascinating. But like you said, I like the idea of looking at it as an opportunity because it's clearly going to be a need. If there's going to be a huge queue of projects coming in looking for that security check, well, that's a lot of business. That's just, waiting at your doorstep. And waiting a month in crypto is like, that is way too long. Got to get some market now. It kind of sounds like, in a way, this style of coding kind of takes away a lot of the busy work. Like, I think about in school, right? When you're like learning spelling and you're like, okay, I'm going to write the same word 10 times in a row to memorize the spelling. You're kind of getting rid of that type of work, right? And so are you seeing, as someone who engages in vibe coding and someone who works with other coders who use this style, are you seeing a change in the ways in which you think about coding? Like, has it become a little bit more higher level, more philosophical because you don't have to be bogged down writing every single character in the code?
Yes and no. I think sometimes you just get stuck with this AI that's hallucinating and there's like, for God's sake, just move this icon like 1 pixel to the right. And I in the last 2 days, really, I had a issue with some front end that I've been fighting for like 2 hours. There's this weird avatar icon in the bottom left that, for the profile picture. And for some reason, it's just like, it's a bit to the left. And everything on the menu is just so correct. And I tried like 7 models. Like, what's the problem? Why it's like this, like that? Because I'm not a front end engineer, so I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know where exactly to look. So I was trying back and forth. I just got frustrated until I called my front-end engineer. I was like, could you please fix this? I'm done. I give up. I tried that with my prompting skill, but it didn't work. So yeah, sometimes you get just so consumed with simple stuff. But I think definitely the only thing I noticed is the more I know how much I can do, the more I can see with my eyes what I'm able to build with really fully vibe coding. The more I have so many ideas and so many things I want to build that I just so much. Like, it's really a lot of ideas that if you tell me a month ago, did you even imagine you can build this? I'll tell you no. And if you told me 2 months ago, would you imagine what I built next month that I even build that? I'll tell you no. So every month, and this is really happening every month, I'm finding myself capable of not seeing any idea impossible. Like more and more deep, complicated stuff. Yesterday I had an idea that was shared by my wife. I was like, 1 week. I say simple. Like, what? I said, well, 1 week. I tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. But how did I know? Maybe if you told me 3 months ago or 4 months ago, I'll tell you 6, 7 months. But now I would say 1, 2 weeks because I really have seen with my eyes what is possible and also seen things that I thought it's not possible, but kind of like, it's just like when you learn programming. When you learn programming, you don't even know what you're going to be able to build, really. Like, no matter what you think, you would not even understand, because there are small ideas that you only can come up with them when you can have the letters. You can't even think of words or like a big sentence or poetry before you even learn how to read or the letters. in a way, or like learn the words. So when you learn the words, you start to understand how mixing them can really unlock so much, right? And this, where I'm finding myself with vibe coding, is like when I first learned coding, I was like, wow, it's like I learned how to build things with clay. Like I have clay and I can build anything, right? And I learned how to build any shape. You know, imagine a child being able to build like a sand castle, you know, on the beach, right? He feels really, we have all these blocks and he can build a castle and he can imagine because now he have the tools to build a castle. But then same for coding, right? Okay, you're finding that you can build so many concepts and ideas that you didn't never even thought of, or automating weird stuff that you never thought of. But then now with vibe coding, it's even 10 times more that you can not only, you don't even have to bother and learn the language. You just have to bother and learn the tools that if you use them properly, you're going to build even more stuff and faster, much, much faster, 200 times faster than writing them with your hands. So if not even much faster. So that itself kind of really explodes the human creativity. And for me, I love that. Like I love feeling empowered by knowledge, like so having some knowledge that I could actually use for something useful. And you never know what's useful for. Maybe it's a competition, it's a hackathon, it's a school project, it's a friend project, it's a project for your mom, whatever. You become really kind of limitless, and only not only because you know how to build it, but because you know it's gonna take barely any time to build it. It's gonna be so fast to build it. It's just an idea converted to text and it's there in front of you in a few days. Compared to before, maybe you know how to build it, but you know it's gonna take 2 months, 3 months to build it. So maybe you prioritize something else. But now I can build anything, and that feeling, like I can build anything, any good idea that I think I should focus on, I'll just do it, and I will do it fast. So you wouldn't feel even, you don't even have an excuse not to have your own startup now. Like no one have an excuse that if they want to be a founder or they want to have their own startup right now, this time, you have no excuse. You're either lazy and you don't deserve to be in the startup ecosystem, or you have no excuse. All what is missing, you don't need a co-founder. You don't need any technical guy. You can, if you really know how to talk to the AI, trust me, even if you don't know how to code, you can build a full product.
Feels like it kind of de-risks it too, right? Like, because if you're going to take a risk on something and it's going to take you 6 months to build, it's like, well, if it doesn't work out, you can feel like you lost 6 months of your time. Here, it's like, okay, well, it's worth trying, like, because
Sure.
the time commitment is a bit lower. So I'll be really curious to see how this affects, like you're saying, are we going to see more founders? Are we going to see more startups? Like if this barrier to entry is lower and that we're unlocking a more optimistic point of view when it comes to starting a startup.
Yeah. No, I think definitely it will reduce the barrier. It will increase the number of startups by 20x or 30x, if not even more. Look, this is literally this moment. I'm telling you this. I have never seen such a moment except the internet boom. Like this is as big as having internet. Being able to build product that fast is as important as there's internet where you can publish your ideas. This is as
Right.
important as that. You know, because being able to build stuff fast, it's for me and for another 7 billion people around the world. So the explosion of ideas, explosion of concepts, and it's just going to be explosive the next few years. So, but also that comes with big risks. You know, they will still do it, of course, but there's security risk. This is security, 100 times. I will repeat that. Like we are able now to build so much fast, but the speed is coming at the cost of cybersecurity, at the cost of being hacked. That only is not even for you as a normal, like if you're a listener and you're a vibe coder, vibe, do whatever you want. At the end, you know, go through some security processes, ask an advisory, pay someone $100 to give you even ideas what to look where, or to where to look, or to who to talk, or so, like advisors online or whatever. But the thing is, even as a consumer that you use apps, you have to be so careful because, for example, I think 6-7 months ago, there was this. It became really trending. It's some kind of like a dating app in US. It got really, really trendy. And then all their data was leaked, all the users' data, images, locations of the people in the app, all of it, and all the messages, everything, all the whole database was leaked. And they had like 3 million users, 7 million users, something really big. And then the reason why it was leaked, because they found out the app was vibe coded, and the private keys of the app, like of the database, was it's so easy to find by the hackers. They were not encrypted. It was just literally at the phone. Yeah, so it was literally the password was in the code. So it was easy to be cracked by the hackers. And once the hackers cracked it, they found out that it was actually vibe coded and this whole thing. So this could happen. Like the users who use this app and trusted this app, and they don't know, they're not vibe coders, but they are paying the price of someone else building a product that's not secure. So that means even us as consumer, we have to be so careful in the upcoming new products that are gonna come, because most of these products are definitely, I'm telling you, they're not going to be security checked. So you have to be really careful on which coins, which crypto projects, which whatever, because also they will vibe code stuff and it will not be security checked. So this is going to bring like kind of chaos to everyone, and but also brings attention that you should care so much about your security and your data more than ever now than before, especially because there are all these new products that are not vetted and not security cleared and so on. So you have to be really careful. You should be scared really, because it's worth to be scared of, I guess.
Well, I mean, you have, the Coinbase hack that happened earlier this year. You have, plenty of banks and, Google. Like there are plenty of hacks that happen even to the best of companies out there. So yeah, I'm hoping this really helps to have people do a little bit more research before they put their information out there. I think that's definitely an important part of, not just crypto security, but hackers are getting more and more sophisticated each day, right? So I like that you have this perspective of like wanting to put security at the forefront, because if your online identity is not secure, then like, what are we even doing here? Like, how are you going to invest? How are you going to build wealth? How are you going to interact with things online when you can easily be, infiltrated? So yeah, definitely an important thing for everybody,
Um,
crypto or not.
by the way, like I'm thinking out loud. We have zero security related products in the company. We're not building anything security. I'm really thinking loud. Like I'm just like discussing the ideas. I think it's very important piece for sure.
Yeah, totally. So let's pivot a little bit to talk about the future of vibe coding and decentralized AI. So forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this. I know you just invested in DAIO. Is that
Not invested. This is, yeah, DAI. So basically, we are the Audit XYZ or the O Foundation. We are working on decentralized AI managed organization. Like we are trying to build this framework with this AI CEO, the one I mentioned in the beginning. So that's kind of like our research baby project that we've been working on for the year. And now we want to focus with the vibe coding product, or like the technology management product that we can build products with, because this is actually going to accelerate us building the decentralized AI managed company. Right? So it's kind of like a loop, that we're building a tool for ourselves, but also for the world. But if we have that tool, we'll be able to quickly build a much sort of solid, like really a company that's official and legal, but managed by an AI. Maybe that's
okay, cool. Can you tell me DAOs are something that have been up and down as far as something that has been attempted in the crypto industry? Does this initiative borrow anything from the DAO framework? Are there any things that you're specifically challenging with this initiative?
yes. No, definitely. I think we want an evolution to DAOs. Like DAOs have some issues, and I think transparency is a very important issue. Like in a DAO, for example, we tried to make Audit XYZ in the beginning a DAO, but the issue with having that is you can't be too transparent, because if you're too transparent, you may leak secrets, you may leak launch dates, you may leak conversation with exchanges. You just cannot. Whatever you can do, you really can't be too open about it. What about investors? Or if you get in some token sale OTC deals that are so critical for survival of the company, it's just there's not that enough room of transparent. You can't be that transparent, and if you may be too transparent to a point that could actually just shoot yourself in the foot, or by getting your competitors over you, or know your steps, or even know, like some DAOs got so transparent that even a restaurant bill is listed publicly. That's the DAO concept. That's so I think there's an issue with that, and I think that's why it didn't really scale so much or got so famous. Like the thought at the beginning was like, let's rechange that with AI. So what if we can have an AI that won't leak information but won't lie? Like in the middle, it knows that the team inside the company is actually working. The team in the DAO is actually doing the job. They're not all offline and traveling all around the world, and they have nothing to do with the project. No, it's monitoring their tasks, what they're doing, their GitHub code. Even if they have private code, sure, you don't need to share it publicly to show the world you're working and then leak your secrets. Cool. Keep it private. Let the AI monitor it. And the AI will tell the community, yes, in the last 7 days, they have committed 1, 2, 3, 4. Like they did some work, but it won't leak what exactly they did. It won't leak secret information, but it will keep the community informed what is happening in this closed silo. You still get this benefit of like keep things secret, but also you need this unbiased in the middle party that will share with the community and the investors outside what is actually going on, being transparent with them, but at the same time, but not at the price of shooting the company itself on the foot by leaking a secret or letting competitors go and learn what they're doing. So with AI, we can actually do that. You can have this intermediary layer that manages, governs, monitors, and at the same time transparently report back to the community. And itself is open source that you can't kind of like change it. Like you can't hide things from, you can't let it lie to the people.
Right.
It is what it is. You know, it will do exactly what it's programmed to do. All the world can see what it's programmed to do. How it governs, how it pays, how it rejects payment, etc. All of the hundreds of conditions. But at the same time, you can't, as a project manager, pick up this model, change it, and then let it hide some things, and then share it to the community and say we are a decentralized AI managed organization. It's just not gonna work. So we just want to build this framework where if you're a DAO, where you want secrecy, you want community to be aware of what's going on, but at the same time, you don't want to share everything, but also at the same time, you still want the sovereignty of a DAO, you still want an AI to really help you be unbiased and so on. This would be a framework. So it's really a framework. We're trying to find like, think of it like a legislation system, like a legal framework in a way. Like if someone, because I see a future in 10 years, it's a bit farther than a future where no one writes code with their hand. This is a much like next future, where in 10 years, I see that there will be hundreds of thousands of companies that have team, have employees, have workforce, have everything. And there's not even one human CEO in the company. Like it's all automated. Xiaomi in China have a full factory that is producing one phone every second. And there's not even one human in the factory. Like the factory is massive. Wow, it's massive. It's huge. It's really huge. You should check the video. They have it on YouTube. Just write Xiaomi factory AI, something like that. And you'll see huge factory, all robots. There's no humans. So that really is like we are getting there. We will be there very soon, unless World War III happen. I don't know. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Only we're getting to that.
Well, we can skip that and get to the awesome utopia driven by AI that I'm envisioning. Future of vibe coding. The vibe coding market is projected to reach $264 billion by 2032. So that's, you know, not tomorrow, but pretty soon. What do you think is going to drive this growth, and what challenges do you think that vibe coding might face in this time?
Okay, good question. So I think main driver of this is rather than adoption from currently main driver of the vibe coding industry is not actually the engineers that are adopting the vibe coding. It's actually the people outside that are left never able to build products, and they are now jumping in tens of millions. So now almost everyone is a senior engineer. Everyone, whoever you speak to, they're a senior engineer, and they're actually just the vibe coders. Like they never even know how to code. These guys are coming from outside, and that is the driver. So if you look at all vibe coding products like V0, Lovable, Bolt.neo, all these big Ripplet, they're all used by amateurs or by kids. Like seriously, like it's all mostly used, or the most of the adoption came from people on TikTok and the generation that are learning how to build products on TikTok. So meaning that they are not from the workforce in the market that is already building products in enterprises. They are people who are outside who want to jump in an easier and faster way. So this is where this whole trend is even started. And the reason why we have this big adoption problem between the enterprise industry and engineers, professional engineers, and the vibe coding, the why there's this too much like clashing happening, because like we're serious, we've spent all our life learning, and then you guys jump in and then you think you're better or faster, whatever, you know. So you have this kind of like clash that
Human clash.
Yeah. So then the whole vibe coding terminology became sometimes to some people in the industry is like, what is this guy's talking about? It's, you know, it's like just they look at it in a low way. But the reason is they're looking at it in a low way because they're feeling like their industry is being, I don't know, some parasites coming in, whatever the perspective they have on. But in my perspective is like everything is shifting and changing, and you either remove your biases and just look into actually why this is actually happening. Why you have so many people suddenly jump to build products. Why? What's going on? Well, AI became smart and easier and faster, and now it can build anything with normal human language in the chat. So what do you expect? Of course, people have a lot of ideas and they would love to build it, and they don't need to pay too much money for it. So that is why. That's the why. So then, okay, what about you guys in enterprise industry? Don't you also want to use AI to build faster and so on? Yeah, but do we have security issues and blah, blah, blah? Sure, let's build you solutions for, let's jump in, all of us to adopt AI. So, I mean, the concept is this a huge like wave that's moving. The reason of it is it all started because people felt empowered, and anyone felt empowered. Like if you want to build something, you can never feel more empowered than now, because whatever you can think of, you can actually make a reality and you can touch, and see. That empowerment, I don't think I have seen anything in the internet that ever made me feel that. Maybe, you know what, maybe when Farmville was in Facebook, you remember these games, I felt like I'm building my farm and I have my world. That's the only like empowerment I felt in my
Then ADJ was Facebook good vibes. I mean, wow. No, but I was working in NFTs when the AI boom happened with like Dall-E and Midjourney, and there were plenty of artists who also had that, that backlash of, well, it's not fair that certain people can come in and just start prompting and create artwork. And I've spent 20 years and went to art school and, hand coding generative art, for example. And so it's interesting to see, it's really the same reaction over and over again when an AI capability approaches a new segment of human life. And I think, those of us who spent lots of, years of our lives and tens of thousands of dollars on education on something are easy to balk at it and feel like gatekeeping it. But like you said, I think that this democratization of coding is something that will hopefully lead to more ideas, because now I don't have to spend 4 years of my life or whatever, 6 weeks in a boot camp, whatever it is, in order to build this thing. And so we have, minds that are perhaps not going to be bogged down by learning to code in certain ways or the limitations we've come to accept once we've been in a certain industry for 10, 20, 30 years. So I think it'll be really interesting, and only time will tell, of course, but I'm kind of a fan of anything that brings more people in. I have to say, like anything that encourages people to go out of their comfort zone, like you're saying, to become industry leaders and startup leaders, like can't be a bad thing.
Why not? Yeah, why not? Give it a try. Everyone should try. Everyone should try to be their sure. Yeah. Everyone should try.
Still a pre-market, right? Like the best products and the best ideas are still going to persevere. No reason to have fewer.
Did you see this to wrap it up with this, like this I think a month ago or something, there was this vibe coding hackathon in Sweden, and the guys they made a company product. They made the product in the hackathon. They sold the company, and this in 2 days. They launched, they sold the company.
2 days.
It was, yeah, they made a YouTube video about it. So like, why not? There's so many like small businesses around or outside that may need some kind of like little solution that may really help them. Even like booking tables or whatever, like simple stuff. Because your friend have a restaurant, you can help him out. He can give you 10K, for example, 5K. Or maybe you can go and start your own studio and start building vibe coded products that are secured a little bit to the community around you or to your city or your neighborhood. There's a lot of opportunities. So this really unlocks a lot. And I think if you're watching this video, do not learn vibe coding. Like, do anything you can to learn vibe coding. It will really help you. You remember that.
Yeah, no, it sounds fun. I mean, because I always love the idea of like going out of your comfort zone. Like I would never think of myself as a coder except for those beautiful MySpace days in the 2000s when I coded my whole website. But I love the idea.
What would you build?
Even I can do it.
What would you build? If you can build anything, what would you build right now?
Oh my goodness. That's a great question. I don't know. See, that's the other thing. I've never thought of myself as an entrepreneur. So it's like this talk now, I'm like, wait, is it time to brainstorm some idea? Still something that's new poetry, The poetry crypto combination is like, it's starting to blow up in the NFT world. I'd love to see how we can move that into the DeFi world.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll call you up in a week with my new business plan. and fully coded.
Sure. We'll help you build it. We'll help you build it. No, don't worry. Just come up with an idea. Oh, I'll have some of my team to help you to actually make it happen. Just maybe for fun. So any idea, or maybe your team have. Let's bring the idea and let's see in how many hours we can actually make it happen.
I love this, and we'll do a little follow-up. Awesome. So to start wrapping up, what's next for you and O.XYZ? Are there any exciting projects coming up? Any milestones here on the horizon?
Thankfully, October is our launch of our first version of the vibe coding product. It will start with it will be shared with communities that have already the influencers in the vibe coding industry and influencers in like the software developer industry. We're gonna start sharing that, and then these influencers will only share to their communities, and that's probably our planning for October and November. And then after that, we're gonna go public. But of course, those who are also part of our community in Discord and so on, they would be able to jump in this beta, access it, be part of it, see it, and give us feedback. It was just the first beta launch, so that's coming in October. I didn't even go to Singapore Token 2049. I had no time. Everyone was like, "Why you're not here? It makes no sense." I was like, "Guys, I need to ship this product very soon. No time."
You're like, I would like to sleep a little bit while I ship this product. Okay, that's really exciting. And are you taking on projects from any entrepreneurs who might have ideas and see this episode and be interested in reaching out?
Anyone would love to maybe get an advice or an opinion on their project, how to execute it through vibe coding. Would love to just help them out for this. And hopefully, of course, they could also come and build it with our tool. I'm happy to help anyone, of course. They just jump into our community. I'm usually active on Discord. You can ask me any question you want. I'll be there to support.
Great, awesome. Well, Ahmad, thank you so much for joining us on the Defiant Podcast. We'll be looking forward to new updates coming very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening in. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and continue the conversation down in the comments. And join us next week when we'll be talking to Alex Katz, CEO of Kerberos Cybersecurity, to talk about how DYOR is not enough to safeguard your funds in an increasingly hostile online environment, and what Kerberos is doing to fill the gaps. But until next time, stay tuned, stay informed, stay defiant.